What's cracking, Jack? You are in the jungle, your headquarters for everything you need to know to bet Week 3 in the NFL. We've got a lot to get to. Let's work. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show, and for joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. I'm going to break down every single game in the NFL for Sunday and come up with the best bet for all of them. And I'm going to leave you two links in the comments section of the video. The first link is to my $5 favorite play of the day. And for just $5 and no further obligation, you get my best bet of Sunday in the NFL text right to your phone. Last week we missed. We had Jahmyr Gibbs over 13.5 attempts. He ended on the hook with 13. They took him out at the end of the game. It was on pace to hitting, but nonetheless, it lost. And this is how good I feel about Sunday's $5 favorite. If you purchase it and it doesn't hit, you get my Week 4 pick for free. The second link is to become a Jungle member. And for as little as 55 cents a day, you can become a Jungle member. We are the fastest growing sports betting community in the Western Hemisphere. As a member, you get access to my full betting card, access to our members-only Discord, and a direct line to me if you'd like me to opine on any other bet that you're considering placing. We have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name in sports betting research, and by Red Lobster. Join us December 9th at our Quebec location for a meet and greet with Pierre Montgomery, the world's #1 expert on Bigfoot. The 2-0 Cincinnati Bengals first place in the AFC North on the road behind the arm of Jake Browning, taking on Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are -3 in this game. The over-under set at 42.5. Despite the time he spent as a non-starter, I think that Carson Wentz is a better option than J.J. McCarthy here. I was never big on him. Through 2 games, he has a passer rating that the league hasn't seen in quite some time. Carson Wentz has proven that he can get the job done, and I think that Kevin O'Connell can coach him out of the dumb mistakes that he's made in the past. Cincinnati's defense is absolutely terrible, and I know people are excited about Jake Browning, but this offense couldn't move the ball with Joe Burrow. They have really struggled to run the football. They are last in the NFL with just 94 rushing yards in 2 games. Not per game, 94 total in 2 games. I think Cincinnati struggles to move the football against a Brian Flores defense, and I think that Carson Wentz can find Justin Jefferson enough times to put some points on the scoreboard. My play in this game is Minnesota -3. Colts at Tennessee. Indianapolis is -5.5, and the over-under is set at 43.5. The Titans have a decent defense, but I don't think they have enough on the offensive side of the football to keep pace. They're last in yards per game, and they're second last in points per game. Indianapolis is #1 in yards this season. They're 4th in points, and their defense is 5th in yards allowed. Don't overthink this one. The Colts cover the spread against a rookie quarterback that's struggling to learn the NFL. Falcons at the Panthers. Atlanta -4.5. The over-under set at 43.5. I think one of the most false narratives in the offseason coming into this season was that Bryce Young has figured things out. No, he hasn't. He hasn't at all. Carolina scoring just 16 points a game, and he has the 4th lowest passer rating in the league. I said in my Week 1 video that I liked what the Falcons did on the defensive side of the ball in the offseason via free agency and through the draft. And lo and behold, they have the #1 defense right now in football, 2nd in yards allowed and 2nd in points allowed, #1 overall. The Falcons' offense has been good, 342 yards a game, 21 points a game, and those are both in the top half of NFL metrics. And I don't think they've realized their potential yet. Once Michael Penix connects with Drake London, gets him going, they're going to light the scoreboard up a little more. And they're going against a Carolina defense that, bless their hearts, has given up 26.5 points a game, and they've given up 145 yards a game on the ground. Perfect for the wrecking ball that goes by the name of Bijan Robinson to slice them up. Give me the Falcons covering the spread. The Jets at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay -6.5. The over-under is 43.5. Tyrod Taylor going for the Jets. The Jets' offense really struggled to run the ball in Week 2 against Buffalo, and it's going to get even harder this week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have one of the best run defenses in the NFL. They're allowing it just 76 yards a game on the ground. Defensively, the Jets are allowing 32 points a game, 3rd most in football behind only the Bears and Dolphins. In comes Baker Mayfield, who has a perfect 5 touchdowns to no interceptions through 2 games, going against the Jets secondary with the most overrated cornerback, in my opinion, in NFL history in Sauce Gardner. He's either getting burned or he's getting called for pass interference every play that he's targeted. If his name was John or Bartholomew or Nico, he wouldn't get nearly the attention that he does. He gets that attention because he's got a cool name. Sauce Gardner sucks. Tampa Bay is a much better team here, and Baker Mayfield is the best player on the field by a mile. Lay the 6.5 with the Bucs. Packers at the Browns. Get your popcorn ready for this analysis. Cleveland getting 7.5 points at home, and the over-under set at 41.5. I think this is going to be an ugly game, and the over-under number of 41.5 reflects that thinking. Cleveland is allowing an NFL low 191.5 points per game. The defense is very good and can make life miserable for, don't get mad at me, a slightly overrated Jordan Love. Rico, cue the comment section. Here they come. Now, of course, the Packers' offense is better, but Josh Jacobs is questionable. And if you dig into the box scores of the games this season, because the final score doesn't tell the whole story when you're handicapping games. Sometimes it's a quick flip of the field, a weird bounce, or one bad decision a player makes that can change the whole dynamic of the game. I digress. But when we go into the box scores of these games, you see the Packers outgain the Browns just by 8 yards a game. And in a move that I absolutely love, Cleveland has named Quinson Judkins, the Ohio State rookie running back, is halfback 1 this week. He looked really good last week against the Ravens when he got his touches, averaged 6.1 yards a carry, 10 rushes, 61 yards. I think the Browns are a live dog in this game. Take Cleveland plus the 7.5. Raiders at Commanders. We have Washington without Jaden Daniels. They'll have Marcus Mariota at quarterback, and they're minus 3.5 in this game. Over-under set at 43.5. Now, most books have the money line for Washington at a price of around minus 145 or so, and I think that's the play here. I think this is a close-ish game, but Washington is by far the better team, even without Daniels. Geno Smith, the Raiders quarterback, has looked terrible, atrocious. He's the lowest-rated quarterback in the NFL this season, a quarterback rating of 66. He's thrown 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, and been sacked a league high 7 times. The Raiders can't run the ball either, averaging just 62 rushing yards a game. The only team that they have more rushing yards than is the Cincinnati Bengals. Washington is the better team all the way around here. Take them on the money line. Rams at the Eagles. Eagles are minus 4.5. The over-under set at 44.5. The Rams have looked good, top 7 offense and defense, and they're 2-0. Everybody's high in the Rams, not only for the season, but to beat the Eagles in this game. But Jalen Hurts is 17-2 his last 19 games, and like it or not, they're a very dominant football team. Pardon me. The Rams are a public underdog this week, but I'm on the Eagles here, laying the points. They played a pretty close game in the NFC divisional playoff last year against the Rams in bad weather. But don't forget that these two teams played earlier on last season as well. And Saquon Barkley ran for 255 yards against them. The Eagles outgained the Rams 481 in yards to 290, and Philadelphia won that game handily 37-20. They also sacked Matthew Stafford 5 times. Eagles minus the points is the play. The jungle has become one of the fastest growing sports betting movements anywhere, and the folks at mybookie.ag have recognized that, and they have an offer for loyal jungle viewers. Sign up for a new account at mybookie.ag using the promo code SILVERBACK, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll be refunded. That's right, your first bet is guaranteed up to $500. What that means is sign up mybookie.ag, make your first bet. If it doesn't hit, they'll give you the money right back up to $500. MyBookie.ag is one of the biggest offshore books going. They have some of the most competitive lines in the marketplace, and you can bet on everything that you're accustomed to. Total spreads, player props, anything that you bet. Open an account at MyBookie.ag today using promo code SILVERBACK. Steelers at the Patriots is close to a pick'em price here. Steelers are minus 1.5. Over-under set at 44.5. Now, I said in week 1, and I stand by it, I'm not nearly as big on a Patriots turnaround this season as some people are. And I'm not big on Drake May. Steelers lost last week to a very good Seattle Seahawks team. That Seattle has one of the best defenses in the NFL. The Patriots are getting torched through the air this season. They allow the most passing yards in the NFL, 315 a game. They are really missing Christian Gonzalez in the secondary. Pittsburgh's the much better team here. Take them on the money line for a great price. Houston at Jacksonville, close to a pick-em price. Jags are -1.5, and the over-under set at 43.5. Only one team has scored less points than the Raiders this season in the NFL, and that's the Houston Texans. Just 14 points a game. They can't seem to get anything going offensively. Conversely, Jacksonville has been good. The offense is humming. They're fourth in the league in yards per game, and they are the NFL's #1 rushing attack, averaging 169.5 yards a game on the ground. Trevor Lawrence looks good, and they're averaging 26.5 points a game. That's a discrepancy in points a game with these two teams of 12.5 points. Jacksonville's at home in this game. The trend is your friend here. One team is in great form, the other team is not. Back to Jaguars on the money line for a great price. Broncos at the Chargers. Chargers -1.5 at home. Over-under set at 46.5. It's a high total for these teams. I really like this version of Justin Herbert. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a passer rating of 127.8. Second highest in the NFL next to Lamar Jackson. Broncos quarterback Bo Nix has struggled so far this season. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and all 3 interceptions have come against zone coverage. That's a defense that the Chargers play 68% of snaps. Their pass rush is real, and their secondary is one of the best in football. The Broncos defense has not yet been the dominant force that they were last season and that we expected them to be this season, but the Chargers are again. The Chargers are allowing just 15 points a game, 3rd best in the NFL and 6th best in yards allowed. I think this line is very short. The value lies with the Chargers on the money line. Saints at the Seahawks. Seattle, a 7.5-point favorite. The over-under set at 41.5. I think the Seahawks are a much better team, but I try and buy the line from 7.5 down to 6.5. I just don't like laying a touchdown or more. I don't like giving up more than that. Seattle has one of the best defenses in the NFL, in my opinion. They're allowing just 17 points a game, and they figured it out offensively last week, getting 31 points on the Steelers, gaining 395 yards of total offense and 21 first downs. I don't think that Spencer Rattler is an NFL quarterback. He might be working at the Red Lobster in the next 2 to 3 years. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I heard they have a really good 401k. To play in this game, Seattle, alternate line, -6.5. Cardinals at the 49ers. San Francisco, -2.5 at home. The over-under set at 45.5. Now, the Cardinals are 2-0. But a touchdown win against New Orleans and a 5-point win against Carolina, what do we really know? I don't really believe in Kyler Murray against good defenses when you watch him. He still has that playground football mentality, scrambling around to try and find the open guy in a panic that works against less than stellar defenses, not against good ones. And this 49er defense is the real deal. They're top 8 in yards per game, points allowed. They got top 8 against the rush, top 8 against the pass, and they've passed the eyeball test. I've watched every single snap of 49ers football this season, and they're a very good defense. Now, they only beat the Saints by 5 points as well, but they had a battle-tested win on the road against the good Seattle team. I think this line is mispriced, and I think that Kyle Shanahan holds a head coaching edge as well. I like the line. I like San Francisco on the money line for anything -150 or better. If you can't get that, I would lay the 2.5. Cowboys at Chicago. I'll make this one quick, ladies and gentlemen. We're going over the total of 50.5. Dallas is scoring 30 points a game, giving up 30.5. Chicago scoring 22.5 points a game, giving up 39.5, damn near 40. Dallas is gaining 392.5 yards of total offense a game. Chicago, 328. Both defenses suck. Both offenses can move the ball. Take the over 50.5 and Dallas, Chicago. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs at the Giants. The Chiefs are -5.5, and I think that's the side to be on here. Yes, the Chiefs are 0-2, but look at their losses. I'm not making excuses. I mean, they lost those games, but they lost by 6 points to the Chargers, who look like a dominant force, and they lost by 3 points to the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. I still think Kansas City is a better team than 0-2, and I think the line of 5.5 is disrespectful against a Giants team that's absolutely dreadful. Dreadful, I say. To play in this game, Kansas City -5.5. Let's have a day, and I'll have a video tomorrow for the Monday Night Football game between the Lions and the Ravens. That'll be a standalone video. I will see you then with a little more money in your pocket.